Hello everyone and welcome to a new IBM I RPG sample video. In the previous video we started this new beginner series where we are learning how to program in RPG on IBM I using modern development tools, and we were talking about what IBM I is. We discussed the integrated database DB2 and we also introduced the RPG programming language. Now that we understand the basics of the platform, the next step is to prepare our development environment. And that is exactly what we are going to do in this video. Today we are going to install the main tools that we will use through this series, and we will connect Visual Studio Code to an IBM I system. By the end of the video, you will know how to install IBM I Access Client Solutions, also known as ACS, how to open a 5250 session, how to install Visual Studio Code, how to install the IBM I development pack, that includes Code4i, how to connect Visual Studio Code to an IBM I system, and how to explore libraries and objects. So let's go. Well, before we start installing anything, let me quickly explain the tools that we will use during this series. When working with IBM I, developers usually use several tools together. One of the most important tools is the IBM I Access Client Solutions, also known as ACS. This tool allows us to connect to the IBM I system and access many important features such as 5250 terminal sessions, also known as green screen, SQL scripting tools, database explorers, data transfer utilities, and much more. In other words, it is the main tool used to interact with the IBM I system. For development, we will use Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is a modern and lightweight code editor that supports many programming languages and extensions. And to work with IBM I from Visual Studio Code, we will install an extension pack called the IBM I Development Pack. This extension pack includes several useful extensions, including the Code4i extension, which allows us to connect directly to an IBM I system and work with RPG source code. Now let's start installing these tools. Well, the first tool we will install is the IBM I Access Client Solutions, also known as ACS. You can download it from the IBM's website. ACS is a Java-based application, which means it works on different operating systems, such as Windows, Mac OS, like me, and Linux. Once you download the package, you can do it here, you simply extract it and launch the application. Inside the ACS interface, you will find several tools that allows you to interact with the IBM I system. Let me open it. Well, two of the most commonly used tools are the 5250 emulator, also known as green screen, okay, and the Run SQL Script tool. After the installation and in the first execution, we will need to add a system configuration for our IBM I. In all these examples, I will use my POP400 account. POP400 is a public IBM I system that is alive from 2001. Now it has a 7.5 version of IBM I, and of course is free and public for everyone. As you can read here, you can create your own user profile, and you will have two private libraries with enough space to make your own tests. I suggest you to have a POP400 account just for testing. Well, let's go to ACS, and then we will enter to this option, System Configurations, and then we will add a new configuration here. Let me add here pop400.com. That is the IBM I that I'm going to use, but you can insert here the system you need, okay? You can add here the host name for the connection for your IBM I, okay? Here you can insert any description. And then you can go, you have to go here to this tab, connection tab, and well, for POP 100 you need to put here 2222, okay? Then accept. We can close this, and well, let's open a 5250 session. A 5250 session, or a green screen, is a traditional terminal interface used to interact with the IBM I systems. Even today, many administrative tasks and commands are executed through this interface. To open session, we simply press this option, 5250 emulator, and enter the user and password. Once connected, we will see the traditional green screen interface. Let me add again my username and password. Well, this is the main menu of the IBM I. From here, we can run commands directly on the system. For example, we can display the library list using this command, display library list. Okay. This command shows the libraries that are currently available in the session. Well, later in the series, we will learn more about commands and how to work with libraries and objects. By now, we can exit from the green screen using the command sign off. Okay? Well, now let's take a look at another very useful tool inside ACS. Well, another powerful feature of ACS is the Run SQL Scripts tool. That is this option. Well, this tool allows us to execute SQL statements directly against the IBM I database. For example, we could run a simple query like this. Select everything from this table. Fetch first 10 rows only. Oops. And if we run it, this is what I get. Well, this query displays some of the database tables available on the system. The SQL Script tool is extremely useful when working with the database, creating tables, inserting data, and for analyzing information. Later in this series, we will use SQL quite frequently. And also we will use the extension that is created for the code for Visual Studio Code, that is DB2 that is similar to this ACS Run SQL Scripts tool. You'll see later in the next videos. Now that we have access to the system using ACS, let's install our development environment. Well, the next tool we need is Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is a modern code editor developed by Microsoft and widely used by developers all over the world, not just for RPG. Also, it is used for Java, C, C++, and many other languages. You can download it from the official Visual Studio Code website. That is here, that is this. The installation process is very simple. You only have to press here, download. You can select the system you are working on, and you can download it and run it directly. It is a lightweight application, so it is very easy to install. Once it is installed, we can launch the application and start adding extensions. Let me run it. This is Visual Studio Code. Extension allow us to add support for different languages and tools. You'll see later. In our case, we want to add support for IBM I development. So to do that, we will install an extension pack. Well, instead of installing individual extensions one by one, we will install the IBM I development pack. This extension pack includes several extensions, you can see it here, that are useful when developing applications on IBM I. Most importantly, it includes the Code4i extension, as you can see here. To install it, we open the extensions panel in Visual Studio Code, that is this one, and we can search for it. IBM I development pack. This, we can click on it and we can install it. I already have it installed. So, after installation, several extensions will be available, including tools for working with RPG source code and interacting with the IBM I system. Now we are ready to create our first connection. Okay, now let's connect Visual Studio Code to the IBM I system. Using the Code4i extension, we can create a connection profile. This requires some information such as the host name of the IBM I server, like before we are going to use POP400, the user profile, and the password. Both are the same that we used early with the ACS application, okay? Once we provide this information, Visual Studio Code will establish a connection with the IBM I system. After this connection is established, we can start exploring the server directly from VSCode. Well, as you can see, I already have other IBM I connections configured. Let's configure a new one. For that, we can click on the plus button. Then we insert a connection name. This is only a name and it is not important, just for you to know which connection it is in the list. Okay, for example, we insert the host. In my case, is pop400.com. And the port that, as I told you before, for POP400 is 2222. Okay. Well, here you can add a username and the password if you want and save it. Let's do it. Let me do it. Okay. And now let's press save and exit. Well, the connection is saved and you have another connection here. Let's now press the green button to connect to the IBM I from the list. Well, it is connecting. Well, once connected, we can browse the IBM I system directly inside VSCode. Let me close all the messages. Well, one of the most important concepts in IBM I is the concept of libraries. Libraries are containers that store objects. These objects can be things like programs, database tables, source files, service programs, and many other types of objects. As you can see here, with Code4i, we can see our library list in the same way we saw it earlier in the green screen using the command display library list. The way Code4i allows us to navigate through the different libraries and inspect the different objects they contain is with filters. We'll see it later. But this way, for example, we'll be able to open the source physical file and see the individual members stored inside it. Each member typically contains the source code of a program. For example, an RPG program. This is where we will write and edit our RPG programs during this series. Of course, there are other ways, for example, using the IFS. We'll speak about it in other videos, and of course, directly from our computer. Well, now let's do a quick practical demonstration. Here in Visual Studio Code, we are connected to the IBM I system. You can see it here, the name of my system, and you see the user library list, the browser, the object browser, and the IFS browser. Well, let me add a new simple filter to see the content of one of my libraries. As I told you before, when creating a Pub400 account, you'll have two private libraries, usually with your username +1 and +2. So for creating a new simple filter, we can press in the ABC button here, okay? And here we can insert simply the name of the library. In my case, my username is Larsen, so I press Larsen and 1, that is the first library. Okay, the filter is created, and we can go to the filter and open it. And if the filter you have created contains something, you'll see all the objects it contains. Okay, let me close this and let me create a new filter for my other library, my second library. And if I open it, you'll see that it is empty in this case. Okay, but well, we are not going to work with this one. We can remove it. This is removing the filter, not the library. Okay, and well, of course we can open the filter. We can see all the objects. For example, we might open a source file and look at the members stored inside it. Okay, for example, this is the typically, let me do it, make it a little bigger. Okay, well, typically the source member where the RPG programs are inside is this one, RPGLE source. We can open it and we'll see here all the different source files we have inside. Okay, and clicking on one of them, we can open an RPG source file. Later in this series, we will create our own source files and start writing RPG programs from scratch. But for now, the important thing is to understand how to connect and navigate the system. I suggest you to test it, to use it, because the main utility here will be the object browser creating different filters. For example, you can create different filters using the filter button instead of the ABC button, this way. But here you will need to insert other values. Test it if you want, but we'll see how to work with it in other videos. Well, pressing the right button over a filter, this way, this allows you to remove the filter as I did before, and we can change it. Okay, change it. Also the filters created with the ABC, you can change them. You can add a name to this filter. You can change the library or whatever you need in the filter and apply the changes. Okay, test it if you want. But we'll talk about all these options in the next videos. Of course, for disconnecting from the IBM I, we only have to press this button this way and it will be disconnected. Now that we have installed our tools and connected to the IBM I system, we are ready to start learning the fundamental concepts of the platform. In the next video, we'll talk about some of the most important concepts in the IBM I development. We'll learn about the libraries, what objects are, and how commands work on the system. These concepts are essential for understanding how applications are built on IBM I. So in this video we installed IBM I Access Client Solutions, opened a 5250 session, explored the SQL scripting tool, and connected Visual Studio Code to an IBM I system using the IBM I Development Pack. We also saw how to browse libraries and objects directly from Visual Studio Code. In the next video, we'll explore the basic concepts of IBM I in more detail. I hope you liked the video and that it was useful to you. As always, remember to like and subscribe if you aren't already. See you on the next video and thanks for watching.